How's it going, guys? It's MetaGames here, and we are here with my long-awaited Edison deck profile for Blackwing. So we're going to just get into it pretty quickly. I ask that if you guys please leave a rating down below. It really helps the channel pop off a little bit. You guys have been killing it on the last few videos, over a couple hundred views on each video. Love it. So I'll leave a link down to my other deck profile playlist if you guys want to check out my other deck profiles, including my Lightsworn deck profile for Edison, and also I do other Edison games and also other duel videos and discussion videos. So please subscribe if anything interests you, and let's get into the deck profile. So this is a 4-card Blackwing. It's a pure Blackwing deck, but it has some text, some modern text for the Edison era. I love Edison right now, and this is I think my best deck that I currently have made. So we'll go over that 4-card main deck. We'll just go over the monsters first. Starting with the Blackwings, of course, on my Black Rose mat, Sirocco the Dawn. So, Blackwing, Sirocco the Dawn, this is the level 5. We're going to go in order of highest to lowest. And this guy is basically your Cyber Dragon. He can be special summoned if your opponent controls a monster and you do not, I'm sorry, normal summon, which is really good because that pops off with Black Whirlwind. You want it to be a normal summon. So, this card also is great in the mirror match because you can take the attack points of any of all the Blackwings on the field, including your opponents, and give it to this one. But then this is the only monster that can attack. But this makes it an incredible card in the mirror and just a great card going second. And it's one of your best Vayu targets to synchro in the graveyard and make a level 7 or 6 synchro. So you have to run 3 of those, of course. Then 3 Bora the Spear with the starting the level 4s off. We love Bora. It pierces, it special summons, it's 1700, so it makes it a pretty good Black Whirlwind target, but you usually want to special it alongside Shura, so it's just a great card. Great for synchroing too, because of the fact it can special summon. Now, 3 Shuras, we love Shura. It's definitely the best level 4. When it destroys an opponent's monster, it gets a special summon a Blackwing from your deck, and you can, it's kind of like yugioh in that respect, but you can attack with it because it can go into an attack position, and then you can usually just synchro afterwards. And then we're going to go to the level 3s. We have 1 Gale the Whirlwind. It's at 1 in this format. It's definitely the best, one of the best Blackwings. It gets to half your opponent's attack monster, or one of your opponent's monster's attack, which is great because this deck struggles sometimes getting over big beaters. And also, it can special summon itself, and it's a level 3 tuner. It's typically the monster you want to search off a Black Whirlwind, and it makes level 7s for days. So that means Black Rose Dragon. So now we're going into the last of the level 3s, 3 Kaluts. We love Kalut. I still have my OG OTS ones from back in the day. If you check out my deck profile, you'll see them. My old Blackwing deck profile, you'll see them there. Go check it down below. So these cards are basically great. I mean, I think they went to 1 the next ban list, actually, Kalut, which is hilarious to me because it's an honest, but it gives only 1400 attack. It's a decent Black Whirlwind target because you can normal and still search out your Gale. So, like, normaling this card isn't horrible, but you typically want it to be in your hand, obviously. It's not bad for plays with Synchro, too. So now the level 2s, 3 Blizzard the North. Blizzard the North is a great card. It's one of the best top decks in the deck. That's why I run 3 instead of 2. The card is a 1-card synchro. It monster reborns 1 level 4 or lower Blackwing monster, which is a fantastic little ability. It's just the top deck ability of this card is incredible. And here, speaking of horrible top decks, we have the last 2 Vayus. Blackwings, Vayu, the Emblem of the Honor, which I had ultimate rares. This card was insane back in the day. I think it got banned, actually. So basically, this card gets to synchro summon in the graveyard, which is pretty insane. You can banish this and another non-tuner Blackwing and synchro summon for a Blackwing. The only 2 that you can synchro summon for are a level 6 Armed Wing and Silver the Ascendant for most of the time. So it's pretty good. I think, honestly, at 2 it's just fine. You don't value as much as you'd think, but like it's still there. I mean, you could play a Vayu turbo deck, but my deck kind of just like, because I mean, I play other options to get into the graveyard, you'll see. So we'll get into the non-Blackwings. There's only 4. Dark Arm Dragon, this card is, if you resolve it, you win the game for the most part, because it gets to destroy the whole field. I mean, you get to you can keep banishing cards to target destroy one card. So as long as you have darks in the graveyard, you're popping your opponent's whole board. You get around Starlight Road because of that. And it's a 2800 card. I mean, you want to see it. It's great if you open it. Not great if you top deck it and you're already into your combos. So then the last 3 cards are monsters are 3 Dark Grepher. We love Dark Grepher. It's actually one of those post Edison side or main decks that people have gleamed onto. Like, people didn't really play it back in Edison. But this card is incredible because it combos with Sirocco. You get to discard this card to special summon Grepher, so you get the Sirocco into the graveyard for the Vayu. And you can discard maybe like a Vayu to send a card to the graveyard, or send Vayu, and then that's a 2 card level 6 synchro, and then you have even normal summon, so like you get to even do more. So this card's incredible in this deck. I've thought about going down to 2, or maybe even running an Armageddon Knight, but I think this is really good for getting dead Siroccos out of your hand, because that happens a lot. So this card's great. Okay, so, and also I added it because I was finding with the standard builds I was drawing way too little Blackwing monsters. Now we're going to go into the spell cards. We're going to go into the one-ofs, Mystical Space Typhoon, Heavy Storm, and Giant Trunade. These are all just back row destruction cards. Obviously, destroy, return all spells and traps, and then Mystical Space Typhoon just to get rid of the one-ofs, and it's a quick play. So it's quite good in this format. I need to get hollows. Okay, and then Allure of Darkness. It's best draw power in the game. It's incredible. I wish it was at 3 in this format, but it is not. Lightsworns get 3 solar recharge, though. Don't worry, they get neutered right after this list, though. Because Konami couldn't have them running around anymore for how long they were. It's kind of like TEARLAMENTS. Like, Lightsworns stuck around for quite some time. Same with Glad. So then 2 Black Whirlwind. This card's one of the best cards in the whole deck. So you get to, when you normal summon a Blackwing, it's not once per turn. So if you have 2 up, you get to double search. You get to search out a Blackwing with attack less than the monster you normal summon. Then the Blackwing you normal summon. This is how you generate incredible, stupid advantage in this deck, and that's why this deck was probably the best pure archetype in the, for sure, in the meta. I think it's a little bit better than pure Lightsworn. And I think it has the ability to contend with, like, you know, the Dandy Warrior and, you know, other decks that I think have been kind of proven with time to not be as good. I think Blackwings have only really aged with, like, fine wine in Edison. So we're getting into the traps. 2 Bottomless Trap Hole. The 2 ofs, it's at 2, so you run 2. It's an incredible card. It's 1 card out for a lot of your things. Sadly, Stardust Dragon gets around it. Then Royal Oppression's at 2, so we have to run Royal Oppression. Kind of don't like this card, but this deck, you need to run it, like, especially for, like, JDs and shit like that. This card just outs a lot of that, and you can play with Kaluts all day and just use back row to turn it off, so it's not really, it just sucks when you can't turn it off. But you're usually still ahead if you can't turn it off. So then 2 Icarus attack. I run 2 instead of 3 because I also run a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, because I'm starting to experiment with this card over Icarus. I've seen some people run this. I'm going to test this in the tournament, or at least for a few days before the tournament on the 29th, and we'll see how that goes. But you kind of just, like, I think having 3 of these just, like, spot removals are very good. And also, like, the hand, Phoenix Wing Wind Blast gets the Vayus out of hand. You don't have a Grepher or whatever. So then Delta Crow Anti-Reverse. We're getting into the one-ofs. This is just to destroy back row. If you control Blackwing monsters, destroy all face-down spells and trap cards. The second effect doesn't really matter. Never goes off. And then the last, just generic, best One of's Mirror Force. It's one of the best battle traps in the game. Trap Dushu. I've kind of thought about cutting this card into the side deck just for a second, because this card is the worst top deck next to Dark Armed Dragon when it's dead, basically, like halfway into a game. Torrential Tribute's just incredible trap card. You kind of gotta run it. And then Solemn Judgment. Solemn Judgment, kind of just because I think it does a lot. It's a one of for a reason. It stops a lot. I've thought about maybe running main deck other things instead of Judgment, but we'll see. I need to also get a new Judgment. This one's like my most damaged card I've ever played in the deck. So now we're going to go into the extra deck right before the side deck. 2 Armor Master. Speaking of damaged cards, Ultimate Rare at least, though I don't give a fuck. My 2 Armor Masters at level 7. These cards are just great. I love it. I mean, it's just a good wall. It's not the best synchro in your pool, but it comes out a fair bit when you don't want to make the Black Rose. Silverwind the Sundance, a level 8, so this is how you... this is mainly for Vayu plays. This is never coming out elsewise. And it's a really good effect. It's just really awkward because you need two or more non-tuner monsters. So it's kind of hard to summon without just Vayuing it. And then 2 Armed Wings, ending it off for the Blackwing synchros. I wanted to kind of get those out of the way first, because you're summoning these guys out a lot just to mesh with Kalut. I mean, your other synchros are technically sometimes better, but this just pierces for battle damage when attacking. It's a 2300 beater. It's easy to make since it's a level 6 with like Blizzard, and it's pretty good with Kalut backed up. Then Mistworm for the generics, level 9. It's Trishula before Trishula was a card. I guess it's it comes out actually a fair bit. I love this card. It sucks that it's only 2500, like, honestly, so I kind of like making other cards if I can. Level 8's Dark End Dragon. This card's incredible. It was a prize card for a reason. Not many people were playing it in that format because of that. I think more people would, but it's a 1-card spot removal, and it gets rid of Stardust Dragon. Colossal Fighter. Really good against warrior decks, and it's it's really cool when you can it's good to summon into when your opponent has like a yugioh in the graveyard, so you can like put pressure on him because you don't want to give a yugioh guardian, or you don't want to give your opponent a yugioh guardian, since you can special summon a warrior from either graveyard when he's destroyed by battle. Stardust Dragon for ending for the level 8s. No like Thought Ruler. Didn't have the space, frankly. Stardust Dragon's just incredible. I wish I could run 2, because we run the Starlight Road in the side deck. But this card's summoned most games. It's like the best level 8. And then Black Rose Dragon for the level 7, best synchro in the game. It's at 1 for a reason. It blows up the field. It's super easy, super easy to make in this deck. So it's really hard to like... I mean, going second is very easy with this deck because you can just Black Rose and then set up your board. Yugioh Guardian, level 6, also one of the best. I'll just do Brionic alongside Yugioh because these two are... Level 6s are incredible, like, so much better than Armed Wing, so that's why I usually don't make Armed Wing as much unless it's through Vayu. Brionic just destroys boards. Yugioh just makes boards by stealing your opponent's monsters when they destroy, and this card spins when you discard as many times as you want pre-errata. So, just incredible cards. Brionic got shortly banned after Yugioh too. Like, you know, it's 2 of the best cards you can make. And the last 2 synchros, Magical Android and Catastor for your 5s. Catastor is incredible, actually, against non-dark decks. And Magical Android just in case. I mean, honestly, this card never really comes up, but because of the life points and, like, it's level 5, sometimes it actually does, especially if you're exhausted. And then 1 Chimera Tech, because you run Cyber Dragon in the side deck. I guess this is for gadgets. I mean, someone tell me why it's really around. I would love to know, because I see it in everyone's deck. I'm running Cyber Dragon because I think it's a good card. But I don't know how many people really run gadgets anymore. Or maybe you can use it against Quick Draw. I don't know. Okay, so now we're getting into the side deck. And then we'll I'll kind of get into side patterns a little bit. We'll be kind of vague. because it's pretty simple. Like, these are the going first cards for the most part. I mean, games do last longer, but I've made my side deck into half and half and they're really general purpose because there's 5 like different decks in Edison, so you have to prepare for a lot. So Starlight Road, it's great against Judgment Dragon. It's great against like people who are running just board wipes. So it's great side going first against like Lightsworn or whoever. 2 skill drain. You can run this card in this deck, so that's why you run it. In the side, maybe even main deck worthy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Thinking about main decking this is kind of spice, and this card just shuts off your opponent from doing anything. So, we run it. From doing any monster effects, to be exact, but pretty good back in the day. 2 compulsory evacuation device. This card was kind of under the radar at this time in the meta, but if you played any time after like 2012, this card was ran in every deck, and it was at 1 for a reason. So I think this is a better option than D-Prison, and I've thought about maining this card. I probably should, honestly. I mean, I'm not too sure about the Phoenix Wing Blast, or the Phoenix Wind Blast. I don't really think it's that great, but I'm gonna keep trying it out. 3 Dark Bribe. I saw someone run this. This seems kind of interesting to me, so that's why it's in here. Because you don't want Royal Decree. You run so many traps, at least in my build. Like, I've seen some builds run Royal Decree when they're only running like a few main deck traps, but I like my traps in this deck. So it's really good because you can just play Goat with like Kalut and like a Floodgate with plus back row and the Blackwing, so it's very easy. Like that scenario happens a ton with this deck in Edison duels. This deck like kind of gets outpaced by Lightsworn once they get off the ground, but like if you're able to set up, like they can't do anything. So Dark Bribe's interesting. It gives your opponent +1, but I mean it doesn't +1, but like I mean I don't know exactly how that math works out, but it negates anything and you don't have to pay the life. So it's pretty good going first, like if you don't want your board to be broken. And then here's the going second card, Cyber Dragon, just 4 going second plus against machines. Very good. Plus Chimera Attack, it's at 2 for a reason. We love Cyber Dragon. You get to special summon this monster when your opponent controls a monster and you do not. So we love it. 2DD Crow. I've thought about removing the Cyber Dragons because they kind of do conflict with some of the other cards, but like I think it's just fine. It's never really, I mean with the Sirocco, but I don't think it really matters because you have Dark Grepher to get rid of Sirocco. And still 2DD Crow, it's incredible card again. I mean it's incredible in this format in TCG. I mean Bestials are better, but like this was being used before the Bestials came out. So great card now, great card back then. It's incredible if you get to hit the Plague Spreader because like a lot of decks only run Plague Spreader. So if you do this like on a Lightsworn Plague Spreader, you turn off all their synchro plays essentially, plus and then other decks too. So I like running 2. I think 3 is a bit overkill because usually decks only have like 1 or 2 cards that matter in the grave, but it's like really good for other reasons too, like to augment graveyard, like to go around Dark Arm Dragon and stuff like that. That does come up a lot in my opinion. Then 2 Noblemen. I think Nobleman's incredible, like actually in this format because there's so many nimble hamsters, I think it's called. It's the one that special summons out the Raikou from deck or whatever. And it's really good against Raikous. So you don't want to have your opponent resolve a Raikou. And it gets rid of all their Raikous. Really good for the JD names too, but if they're running pure, of course. So I think it's great in this format. I could cut it potentially, but I don't know. And then 1 Lightning Vortex just for spot removal, and the discard can come up, if you want to get some cards out of your hand. I don't think it's great, but I like the idea of having just like, if I go second, since Darkhold and Raigeki are not in this format, I could even up this to 2 if it's like overperforming. So I'm going to do a tournament report on this deck once I do field test it on the 29th at my first tournament. I'm going to be uploading a dueling book gameplays though until then. playing Edison because I found a dueling book. You can find lots of games of Edison fairly quickly, more quick than Dueling Nexus and yugioh Omega. So I'm just gonna do that, and we will post those and tell more decks. This will be my final deck profile. I mean, for a while at least. I'm gonna do a TEARLAMENTS deck profile, a quick deck profile, right before the Photon Hypernova sneak preview, and then we'll have a sneak peek opening. I'll like open up a few booster boxes. I think I'm gonna buy 2, and my friend's gonna buy 1 himself. So look forward to that, and then we will do a lot of dueling book gameplay, and then we're gonna probably transition to a lot of discussions. So please let me know down below, what do you guys play with Edison? Did you guys enjoy the deck profile? What can I make better about this deck? I'm gonna take this to my locals the 29th and hope to win this Edison tournament. I'm loving Edison. I like TEARLAMENTS, but I can't lie, I enjoy Edison actually far more right now. And maybe that's just nostalgia. We'll see how I am. But I play like TEARLAMENTS. I'm just like, ugh. I hate the mirror match. Like, I like the mirror. It's a skillful mirror match, but sometimes given time rules, it's just like not a fun, conducive one. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or dislike if you thought I could do better, and leave a comment and possibly subscribe for more because I make daily Yu-Gi-Oh content. MetaGames signing out. Have a good day.